Welcome back, children. Now let us continue with the second lesson of your book from Hornbill for class 11, a photograph by Shirley Tuelson. Now, a brief introduction about the author. Shirley Tuelson, she was born on 20th of May 1924 in Henley-on-Thames, England. She had a huge passion for writing and was greatly influenced by her father, who was also a writer. She secured her BA in literature from Brockenhurst College in London in the year 1953, and shortly after that she took to writing as a career. Now, a brief introduction about the poem. The poem Photograph is a tribute to the poet's mother, and in this poem she describes 3 stages of time span which are focused on here. The first stage is the poet's mother's enjoyment of the sea holidays with her cousins. The second stage takes us to 20 or 30 years later after the photograph was taken. And the third stage is when the poet remembers her dead mother with a heavy heart. Now, a brief summary of the poem. Here, the poet, she is looking at an old photograph of a mother which has a frame of cardboard. The picture has 3 girls, in which the middle one is the oldest and tallest. It is her mother when she was about 12 years old or so. Beside her, on both the sides, are her 2 cousins named Betty and Dolly, who are holding her hands and are younger than her. They went for paddling on a beach holiday. Her uncle took the photograph then. The poet could not help but notice that her mother's sweet face looked very pretty. The sea touched her terribly transient feet, which depicts that she changed over the years and the sea remained the same. After about 20 to 30 years, her mother would laugh at the photograph. She would make the poet look at the photograph and tell her how their parents would dress them up for the beach holiday. The beach holiday was her mother's favorite past memory, while her laughter was the poet's favorite memory. Both of them lost something which they cherished a lot and yet cannot live that moment again. Those sweet moments were memories now. Now the poet's mother had been dead for the past 12 years, which is the same number as of her age when the photograph was taken back then. She cannot express the grief that she has from her mother's absence. Now let us begin with the line-wise explanation of the poem. The cardboard shows me how it was when the 2 girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she, the big girl, some 12 years or so. So here the poet begins saying that the cardboard shows me. Here the cardboard has been personified as if the cardboard is a live human being who is capable of showing something to the poetess. So the photograph which was taken was pasted on a cardboard. It was some time back. It shows the author how it was when the 2 girl cousins, they all went paddling. They all went splashing the water on the beach along with the mother to enjoy themselves, each holding one of my mother's hands. So each of the 2 girl cousins were holding my mother's hands, and she, the big girl, some 12 years or so. And so the poet's mother is the tallest of them. She was the big girl. She was about 12 years or so at that time when this photograph was taken. All 3 stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. So here we come to know that it was their uncle who was taking their photograph at the beach. So he told them to have a beautiful smile on their faces, and probably a wind is blowing, and in the wind their the hair, it was flying all over their face. Still they smiled, looking through, peeping through their hair, which was spread all over their face because of the wind blowing, and they smiled at their uncle who was taking their photograph. A sweet face, my mother's, that was before I was born. So she is looking at the photograph, and she looks at her mother's face in the photograph, and she says that she has such a beautiful face. And it was a photograph which was taken many years before the author was born. Definitely here we come to know, it's mentioned that my mother was about 12 years old. It was many years before the author was born. And the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. And they were walking and splashing about in the water at the beach, and the water of the sea, it was splashing all over their feet, which were terribly transient. Transient means which changes, something which is not permanent. So here the feet of the poet's mother, they are said to be transient, along with the feet of the cousins. And the water of the sea, it never changes, because we know that the nature never changes, it always remains the same. The human life is the one which undergoes a lot of change. Some 20-30 years later, she laughed at the snapshot. See Betty and Dolly, she'd say, and look how they dressed us for the beach. The sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter. Both wry with the labored ease of loss. So in the second stanza, we see that we move on to the second stage of the poem, in which the explanation is given of about 20 or 30 years later, that is 20 or 30 years after the photograph of the mother along with her cousins had been taken. So in this, she says, the author says that her mother would just look at that snapshot, that is the photograph of her along with her cousins, and she would laugh and say that look at Betty and Dolly. Betty and Dolly are the names of the author's cousins. That look at the photograph of Betty and Dolly, and she would laugh and say, just look how our parents dressed us for the beach. The sea holiday was her past. So here the author says that the time when this photograph was taken, her mother was 12 years old. She was on the beach along with her cousins. That was the past of a mother. That memory was cherished by her mother. It was a favorite memory of hers. Mine is her laughter. So the author says, my favorite past and my favorite memory is the memory of my mother's laughter. So for my mother, the sea holiday was her beautiful favorite past memory, and for me, it is my favorite past memory is that the laughter of my mother. Both wry with the labored ease of loss. She says that we both struggled and worked hard in order to come into terms with our loss. The mother has lost, both of them have faced a loss. The mother, she has faced the loss of her past memory, that is her childhood, when she went to enjoy her holiday on the seashore, on the beach along with her cousins. That is her sense of loss, the lost memory, the lost time of enjoyment. And for the author, the favorite past memory is that of the laughter of a mother. So both the mother and the daughter, they struggled with the loss that they faced in their lives. The mother faced the loss of the childhood which she enjoyed with her cousins on the beach, and the author, she is missing and she is working hard to come to terms with the loss of her mother, and that is her mother's laughter, because she has lost her mother now. Now she has been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived. So the author goes on to say that my mother, she is over here referred to the author's mother, that she has been dead for as many years as that girl lived. Now that girl lived is referred to the mother of the poetess, and the age of the mother of the poetess at the time the photograph was taken, she was of 12 years. So now her mother has been dead for nearly 12 years, which is exactly the age at which her mother's photograph was taken. And of this circumstance there is nothing to say at all. So she says about these circumstances, she says, I have nothing to say at all. It's silences. She says that she has lost her mother and she is really facing a lot of grief, melancholy and agony at the death of her mother. She is filled with loneliness, and that loneliness is the circumstance, the agony is the circumstance that makes her silent, and she has no words to express her agony. So the circumstance, it is silencing her to be quiet, to be silent. So there are many figures of speech used in the poem. First of all, there is the alliteration. Now, alliteration is the repetition of the consonant sound at the beginning of two or more consecutive words in the lines of a poem, like stood still. So in this stood still, there is the repetition of the consonant S in stood and S in still. Then through there, in through there is the repetition of the consonant T, that is ter, at the beginning of through and there. Then my mothers, in my mothers, that's again alliteration, repetition of the consonant sound in my and mother, that is m. Then terribly transient, in this also there is the alliteration, repetition of the consonant ter. And then silence, silences, that is S of silence and S of silences. Then in silence, silences, there's another poetic device used, that is personification. Personification is when the inanimate objects or the abstract nouns, they are given human qualities. So here silence is being personified as a human being, which makes another person go silent, to be quiet. Then another poetic device used in the poem is oxymoron. Now oxymoron, it is a figure of speech or a poetic device in which two opposite ideas are used together, one after the other. For example, in this there is labored ease. Now labored means great difficulty, ease means something which is easy. So both labored and ease are opposite in meaning and they have been used together. Now another very important figure of speech used in the poem is the transferred epithet. Now transferred epithet, it is the quality of one thing being transferred to the other. That is in the two words terribly transient feat. Here the quality of life is being spoken about in general. Life is not permanent, it is temporary. So that quality has been passed on to the feet of the poet's mother, which are said to be terribly transient feet. So it is also mentioning, the narrator notes that the permanence of the ocean, that is the nature is permanent, it does not change. It is being compared to the relative brevity of the human lives. The human lives are brief, nothing is permanent in the human life. The actual feet in the photograph, over here in this, the synecdoche is also being used. Synecdoche is when in a figure of speech in which a part is made to represent the whole and vice versa. That is using feet to stand in for the entire person and for the human life in general. I hope the poem is clear to you. So please do subscribe my channel and do click on the bell icon so that you come to know when I upload the next video. We will continue with the next lesson of the hornbill. Thank you.